To recap the events that led to Season 2, Sunraku was a guy who plays trash games on purpose, till one day he decides to hop on the new hype train for Shangri-La Frontier. He pretty much fell in love with the game's buttery smooth graphics, frames, and mechanics immediately. He runs into Lycagon the Night Slayer and gets hit with a curse that makes it to where he can't put on any kind of gear, only mask and pants. Even still, the fact that Sunraku has the skill to beat trash games, being put in a game where he has good mechanics, he beats bosses and mobs pretty efficiently. He groups up with some friends who also played trash games, yet decided to hop on SLF. Sunraku and the gang beat the unique boss Weathermon the Tomb Guard. Unique bosses are bosses that are very broken, busted, OP, whatever you want to call it. But after beating Weathermon, the world storyline progresses. The entire community is told of Sunraku, Pencil, and Katsu beating the first Colossi, and after that, Sunraku cheese farms some crystal scorpions. In Shangri-La, it's a game, bro. There is no not letting him do cheesy stuff because the story needs him to not do cheesy stuff. He does it. He does cheesy stuff all the time. But he brings those materials to Belock, and she says that some of them are better off going with this cat, Ignoramus, whose people are kind of known for just, keeping your stuff. And when Sunraku logs out and checks his emails, he sees that Katsu and Pencil both want to meet up IRL and talk, but he doesn't show up or even respond. They pull up to the ruins of past glory trying to find the magic couplers unit, and before they go in, Belock warns them that in this area there will be some pretty tough golems. And what do you know? One pulls up, blowing them back and using a flamethrower. And unlike most cases where the MC locks in on a surprise low-level enemy and kills it, Sunraku is running at it and Ignoramus pops one of his Dragon Buster moves and drops it in one attack. That one was pretty easy. There's probably gonna be more, but hey, they're in the clear for now, right? But man, this little ass rock ain't gonna be that. Damn! Yeah, it would have been GG for everyone in that area. Gee. And now a bigger one has shown up, spitting the little ones out. And they handle the little ones for a bit, trying to avoid a chain reaction of explosions. And when the golem starts targeting Armies and Immel, Sunraku and Belock try closing the distance. But this big ass rock got hops like no other. Armies, the goated feline he is, uses that dragon busting move and knocks the golem over. It still jumps and starts carpet bombing these dudes, but since it had bad footing, it didn't jump very far. So Sunraku gets underneath it with the demon decapitator and uses glowing tears, exposing the core, where Belock smokes that hoe into the sky, and as it comes down, it blows up. Luckily, they dodged it, so they're good. And Sunraku got a little doll that explodes, just, like the golem. They search around for a little bit and find the base they're looking for when Sunraku's best pals show up, pressing him for leaving them on red. Sunraku lets them in on the situation, and Katsu is nominated to climb down into the hole, confirming that it is safe for everyone to come down, just to immediately trigger the security system. Armies is the first to step up and pop the primal slash for that shit to get completely tanked. But now Wolfgang is going to give it their magic touch. Also, I don't know why they went with Wolfgang on the clan name when that's kind of Schwarzwolf's whole thing, but whatever. Sunraku hits it with the moon reflection, gets in, dodging the lasers, giving Belock and Katsu the chance to occupy two of its arms. Immel and Armies combo spell his ass with the primal edge, cracking his chest, where Pencil chucks that spear in his ass, knocking him over, letting these three jump and finish him. They find the magic cuck unit pretty easily. Well, Immel finds it and wears it like a hat, and Belock notices, but comedy. Sunraku tries dipping off, but Katsu and Pencil are not having none of that. He's got to go with them to meet up with some very deranged, animal-obsessed people. And this dude, Sunraku, just sells them all out. That means Wolves and the library also pull up. Swartz offers Sunraku a way to remove the Lycagon mark in exchange for some info. The librarian goes over what colossi they have info on, that being Lycagon the Night Slayer, the Tarnid of the Abyss, Seagworm, the Sky Ruler, and Orchestra the Doom Mech. They got one thing down, it's these names. These names are hard as hell. Sunraku tells Saiger 100 about everything he learned fighting Lycagon, her elemental attributes, her attack patterns, stuff like that. And this entire time, Sunraku's been trying to avoid mentioning Rabbituza or his unique quest. But Animalia already knew about Rabbituza, so he's forced to ask Immel if she can talk to the higher-ups in Rabbituza to see if there's a way for them to be invited back. Pencil scams a librarian, and I feel like it's worth mentioning. I know they look like a child. They sound like...
It seems we've come to an agreement then.
So yeah, not everyone makes avatars comparable to how they look IRL. But after scamming Buddy, she offers all three clans there a multi-clan alliance. They all accept, and that's over. They discuss what cards they have to, manipulate other clans. One, they're the only ones who have beat a unique boss. So they're the only ones who know about Bahamut, whoever that is. Two, They have the Inventorium and the legacy weapons inside. 3. Belok is the only NPC with a confirmed ancient craftsman job, so they probably have a monopoly on that as well. 4. Sunraku is the only one with knowledge and access in and out of Rabbituza. He's also the only one who knows about the cat seats. And 5. They have insider knowledge on how to get into the next bonus unique scenario. And these dudes are about to be hated by everyone. Everyone is not going, no one is gonna fuck with these people, bro. Sunraku realizes Imo has yet to return, so he's just gonna go back, and if he's gonna respawn, he might as well make some use out of it and go farm some more scorpions. He does exactly what he did last time: draw aggro, make them jump into one another, they hit themselves, and hop into the inventory. Sweet. Easy enough, right? Well, when he comes back and there are no materials at all, he's thinking of what happened. Did he TP out too soon? He gets attacked from below and one shot. Yeah, the devs patched his shit with the swiftness. He pulls up on Belok and turns out she can not only repair legacy weapons, but she can also craft. But she'll need a lot more materials so that she has more room for trial and error. And of course, Sunraku agrees to get him. Drops him off at Rabbituza and goes back to fight the scorpions. Draw him out, of course, and hit the dash. The plan this time is to run off the edge and let inertia do the rest. Their speed and numbers means they can't stop. They all come crashing down, and he gets back up to get his level up rewards. Nah, he ain't getting them rewards till he finishes this encounter. And it looks like a scorpion survived. No biggie. He can throw him off like he did the others. Yeah, if that were just some regular crystal scorpion and not a golden crystal scorpion. He runs for a sec, realizing his run off the edge isn't going to work here. And going into the Inventorio would take him out of the fight. So he turns around, parries that hoe. It should go without saying that if he's hit, he's toast. And although its armor is weaker than the other scorpions, it's still tough as shit. What it don't got in armor, it's got plenty of speed and strength. And it's shooting acid pools, so range won't work either. He gets ready to dodge the next poison attack, but it's a scatter shot and he's forced into the Inventorium. He comes out and of course it's still there. So he ends up cracking part of its armor with a poison attribute and it heals. Yo, this thing is ranged, mid-range, close combat, high speed, high durability, and it can heal itself. Jesus! If I ain't know any better, this was one of the Colossi. But that's not going to get Sunraku down. Gets in on the stinger and starts comboing his shit just for it to shoot goo, forcing him back into the Inventorium. When he comes out, the bugger is trying to heal again, but Sunraku ain't having none of that and snipes his dumbass. Jumps up top and hits him with that hand of fortune, knocking the scorpion down. He fuses the moon blades, coming down and pouring everything into that tail, finally hacking it off. Dodge the counter and put that stinger in the Inventorium. This is his first encounter with this thing, by the way. Sunraku's just the GOAT. Like, he handles every mob with efficiency. I don't want to say like swiftness because it don't be quick, or like easy because it don't be easy, but he be doing it efficiently, that's for sure. It starts losing its shit and Sunraku gets the bright idea to pin the golden scorpion while he's going into the Inventorium, and it works pretty well. They gang up on it and he comes to find a pincer. But this thing is not done. Somehow, through all that, Goldie has survived. But after some dodging and blocking, Sunraku throws the blast doll at it. After it dances, the scorpion hits it, blowing itself up, weakening it even more. So Sunraku logs that pincer off, grabs the marsh daggers in its eyes, and defeats Goldie, reaching level 99. Gets back to Rabbituza and Belok is losing her marbles because this dude beat a Goldie scorpion. With all these materials, she's going to be able to make him a pretty sick weapon, and she fixed a ether reactor for him. So now he can use the legacy armor in the Inventorium. Or not, because he still got like a Gunsmart. Alright, my bad. This messes him up so bad because this means Pencil and Katsu will be able to use all the gear while he can't. And honestly, these three aren't the kind of friends you think they are. Each of them will and have used one another to get a leg up in the game. They even do shit like log off with a rare item for a while so that the others can't have it. Yes, that is what Sunraku does. And to get his mech suit itched, he hops on FLM Hollow, one of his few favorite that aren't a complete trash game. And one of the dudes that Sunraku used to put the beats on shows up asking for a rematch. And Sunraku has no idea who this dude is. W ego, I'm not gonna lie. But he accepts the challenge and they're off. Dodge the laser, dodge some more lasers, zipping through the air like this, got his mech suit chugging gas like no other. And have you seen these prices nowadays? So he's gotta wrap this up in 3 minutes and immediately misses the shot, misses the slash. Ballman almost hits his ass with the Omega Beam, and when Sunraku Sunraku thinks he's clear, he gets his ass ground pounded through the highway. But Sunraku's not done yet. While he's down here, he thinks of his next move. Ballman dodges the first attack, so Sunraku jumps out the rebel. Or that's what you and Ballman think. Yes, you, not me. As Sunraku faked him with the rebel and blows his shit to Kingdom Come, winning the match. Shit was low-key light work for real. Sunraku the GOAT at any game he touches. While talking to Ballman, the #1 player in the game shows up. But my turn is over, and since we ended on such good terms last time, I'm going to politely hand the video off to Pre. Is that cool with you, bro?
Yeah, that's cool with me. No more fighting, right?
Of course. Just pass it back to me when you're ready.
I bet. So let's get right down to the nitty and gritty. When the homie Kavion hit me up and said, let's run a video on season 2, I was already looking like a prestige local crackhead, ready to go to war about whatever. So after Sunraku dealt with the ball, man, like, bro, what type of name even is that? Almost worse than having an X in your username. The rank 1 player in the server ends up pulling up on Sunraku. Yes, Sirski, that is indeed the #1 ranked player in this game, Russ. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to start bouncing on it. Yo, chill. Y'all know what I mean. Come on, man. But can we talk about that name and how clean it is? No? Alright. So she wasted no time trying to doe down with Sunraku, and they already had the crowd going crazy. Russ charges in first, but Sunraku easily dodges, pulling out this giant eraser gun, blasting away as Russ invades. Russ swings 3 times for the Sunraku to dip out the scenery. They was doing all types of stuff, shooting rockets, flying through the city, flying through walls.
My glorious goat Sunraku, look at him go, he can't be stopped.
And yes, Sunraku instantly loses right after that. Bro, I'm not going to lie, this low-key just caught me off guard the way he just got one tap, like, bro. So Russ is of course salty at Sunraku because she thinks he was trolling during the fight and stuff. So they agree to fight again, and one thing about Russ is that she never changes her mech and setup, unless she loses, which of course she never has. One day long ago, the first Titan had fallen into the world. Destruction and chaos engulfed the city, and even when the Titan self-destructed, even more Titans fell from the heaven. Yo, bro, Pre, what are you doing, man? I'm talking about the backstory to the Nephilim game. Buddy, no one wants to hear about that weak gaming backstory. Hurry up and get to the second part of the fight. So the second fight comes around, and Sunraku has a completely new mech that he calls the the Fiddler Crab. The match starts, and Russ instantly starts spamming rockets at Sunraku, and Sunraku was moving with this fat Iron Man suit of a mech. Russ easily catches up in the faster mech, and this man hits the Predator cam on her and vanishes. But even with Sunraku going invisible, the trails from his booster still show dust, so she could still track him, blowing down the entire city. That was until he pulled a quick one on her and ended up taking one of her arms. And apparently he baited her and switched out his mech legs, blah 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 blah. Listen, this was a decent fight, but like after seeing the Pika Doggy fight, Corey Kitchen fight, like I low-key don't care too much about some dang mechs. But Russ isn't the #1 player for no reason. And this girl does a full 360 last second and takes off Sunraku's mech's arm. But Sunraku counters with a net that she easily dodges, but it was just bait again for the real move, and Russ for the first time ends up losing. Which this entire battle was for a reason, because he did end up telling her the entire reason he even came back to this game, and she gets excited because she used to play the game, but there wasn't any mechs in the game. So if he tells her about the mechs and how to get one, in return she would tell him about the secret scenario. And that leads us into our next Colossi, the Abyss. They basically tell Sunraku the steps to talk to an NPC and something about a ghost ship, you know, some creepy type of stuff. And basically Sunraku says he would help them with the scenario. Remember how she has never made a new mech if she has lost? Well, Sunraku said when she does make a new mech, he will rematch her, and instantly she pulls out another mech. But luckily they wrapped this scene up because I could not handle 3 more episodes of a mech fight. Now back to SOF and Emo, who was chilling at the palace until her big brother C Crew popped up on her. He was looking for the boss man, but he's still AFK. Of course, when you need the NPC the most, once again, they are gone. But he has a new prospect, and her full name is Akitu Akane, but I'm sticking with Akitu. Like, I'm not saying that entire thing. And this news gets back to Sunraku, who is low-key freaking out because he doesn't want to lose his edge on being the only one who can access Rabatuza in the way he can with the EX scenarios. So Sunraku bribes Emo to report back to him as soon as Akitu comes back online, or to stall and hold her in place until he comes back, and then walks in Belok with the new gear she made for him. And oh my goodness, look how dope these things look. Crystal drip with the golden scorpion attached to it. I know that kill streak was crazy to obtain that. So after this, Sunraku realizes that playing solo will make things insanely harder as he keeps going through the storyline, and he decides to hit up Psycho Zero to help him out. And she instantly starts freaking out and ended up logging off the game. Imagine asking one of your homies, bro, hop on the game, let's run some rank tonight. And as soon as they read the message, they go offline. That might be a fate worse than when I witnessed Iron Man die. But of course, once again, Sunraku doesn't have enough stats in order to use his new weapons. And luckily, his helmet gives him a boost that allows him to actually use the weapon. Also, Psycho Zero finally hits Sunraku back up and gives him the place to meet at. So he heads out to meet up with her, even taking on an area boss. Trust me guys, this was like turning off Drake's Iceman album. It was very easy for him to beat it. This was one of the area bosses in the game that everyone knew about and how to beat. Basically just farming it over and over. It was like me and the boys back in the day doing the Pacific Standard heist over and over again. Yes, before even the other DLCs came out. He also beat the fighting solo speed record on the boss. This man is literally a gaming legend. So Sunraku and Psycho Zero finally meet up. Unlike certain animes like Rent a Girlfriend, blue balling you for 90 seasons back to back. Now the plan is for him and Psycho Zero to beat the area and along with the area boss. And after that, head to a city called Fiftizia and get his curse removed by an NPC that can undo all curses. So then Psycho Zero's like, follow me. I know a way to the area boss. It's actually a shortcut. Yeah, they got lost in no time. She was just trying to show off. Which leads them to run into Animalia and her crew, who were here about to summon Lycagon in order to fight it and having access to Raptuzu whenever they want to. Which they got tricked into thinking from Pizzagon, who finessed her into paying off all her debt. And right on cue, the big bad wolf popped into play. They go right into battle. First, Gwenwood takes up front and catches in the back of them. The first dude gets sent flying, almost losing all of his health points in one shot. Then the caster shoots out a binding attack. This was looking like the Leaf Village trying to take down the Nine-Tailed Fox. Then Animalia uses her special hand, and the move was super effective, even subduing Lycagon in place. But we all know it won't be that easy. And Animalia gets one-shotted, going inside of Lycagon's mouth, and then it's revealed that it's actually two Lycagons. Remember that strange attack all the way back in season 1 when Sunraku got his legs chopped off? Yeah, that was the second Lycagon, I think, maybe. Don't quote me on that actually. But yeah, Lycagon makes super quick work of the rest of the squad, wiping them all out one by one. And look at Sunraku and Psycho Zero, bro. They are looking so clean. Mind you guys, both her and Sunraku are level 99 and they both hop into action. Sunraku perfect parries not once but twice, and then Psycho Zero uses Supreme Divine Slash, hitting its legs, doing no damage and getting smacked back into a wall. Then the clone comes out and attacks missing. And Psycho turns it up a notch, hitting Lycagon with an Apocalypse move, getting off a critical strike. Psycho takes the aggro as the clone attacks Sunraku again, and he dodges into the air. But he had mistakenly thought it was the clone because the clone can only do one attack and almost gets sent back to the Fortnite lobby, but he used the inventory to help him survive. And that's when Sunraku realized that Lycagon could understand what they are saying to each other, and she was faking certain moves before. So this shows that Lycagon is programmed with battle IQ. So Sunraku pulls out a decoy move so they could go over a plan, and Psycho Zero tells him she has an ultimate attack that has the highest damage in all of SLF. She just needs time to charge it up and pull off the attack. And Sunraku got into his Vegeta bag, basically saying one lousy minute is more than enough time for him to tangle with the doggy. So he goes into his gauntlets. He zooms in and evading the first blow, flipping in the air, flying back and blasting forward, getting off a huge direct hit on Lycagon. She comes back and starts trying to pummel him as he dodges for his life. Psycho Zero transforms into her Saturn mode and lands her first blow. And if she does this 4 more times in a row, she can land her ultimate attack. And once again, Sunraku almost gets taken out and has to use the inventory again. And while he is thinking about a way to help out, he comes back out to the battlefield with one of the mech helmets. Oh, wait. Before you guys go in about the Lycagon curse, this is technically not armor. And this man uses the core reactor to pull out a whole mech Pokemon to help him out. There's literally no way he just pulled this off in the middle of the battle. Like Psycho Zero was probably getting jumped by the other two while he was trying to be a Power Ranger inside of the Inventoria. Bro literally has a host command center. Like Sunraku really is my gaming goat, man. Meanwhile, Psycho Zero gets her second catastrophe off. They both lock in as the mech goes into the sky and ends up distracting the clone. Sunraku takes aggro again, shooting his crystal beam. The doggy dodges, so he starts dipping away. Goes right back to the crystal, makes it grow and smacks Lycagon in the head. Then it tries to use its clone ability, but the mech messes up the clouds, not allowing it to form, and then Sunraku gets another huge shot off, allowing Psycho Zero to get another strike off, leaving her with just 2 more to go. But that just pissed off Lycagon even more as he boomed her backwards into a wall. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's time for me to clock out. All right, now back to Kavion. Yo, Kavion, whenever you're ready, man. Kate, what?
Yeah, not gonna lie, fuck all that peace shit. It's war. He gonna be out for a minute, but we just gonna keep it pushing. I'm not gonna lie. After getting her hit in and shit smoked, Ray tries healing, but like a blacked out superhero with full match, Lycagon not trying to hear none of that and completely ignores Sunraku, forcing Ray to do nothing but dodge until she decides she's done running. Right here, right now, she's gonna fight, but it's no use. She gets hit with the shadow possession and Lycagon tears her shit up. Or so I thought. Yes, me, not you. You actually seen right through this one. This is Akane. She's the one who used substitution jutsu on Rei. Also, Emil and Secret are here. Back into the action, they start dodging Lakigan's attacks, and Rei is worried about how Akane knows Sanraku. She just being jealous and almost gets boomed again, but luckily Akane subs her out of there. Sanraku's got to get that aggro off of Rei so that she can get the rest of her hits in. So Emil grabs her with the chain, and even though that shit gets broken immediately, Sanraku gets in, pummels her shit, and it's brushed off. Turns out Akane is one of the players Sanraku fought in Burb, and she's only here at this point on SLF because she thought this Sanraku might be that same Sanraku, which it was. But after finding out that Akane just admires Sanraku as a veteran player of a different game they played, she locks in, turns, and booms that mutt in its shit, getting hit back and carried by that sub-jutsu. Rei now only needs 2 hits until her ult is ready, but Akane is all out of subs. Sanraku starts to realize that this entire time, the wolf hasn't bled once, even from Rei's attacks. He has Emil shoot off her mana shaker, and this actually manages to nick the mutt. Apparently, this dog is made of pure mana. Seeing that Emil can do some damage to Lycagon, she starts chasing, and Suzaku is low on energy, so Sanraku has him come down and cut power. Rei comes in and gets yet another hit on Lycagon. She switches forms, and while Sanraku and Emil chain her leg, Rei gets that last hit in. And now it's time for that ultimate, but it's got a crazy long incantation, and the moon is being blocked again. Rei thinks to let down her attack and start helping with defense, but Akane is like, nah, we gonna protect you. Don't you dare let that attack down. And listens very closely for that damn dog. Blam! Fire breath. Did I really just say blam, bro? Lighting up the shadow, and Secret booms it with bamboo. Lycagon starts running towards Rei. Stop her with the crystals. Emil launches that mana shaker. Didn't know he could fly attack, but he cuts that ankle with the last of his power, and the mutt falls. But the goat's not done yet. And this is not no regular ult where he just hits harder, as this shit scales with how much mana he can put into it. And each hit takes about a week to recharge. He charges that hoe up, hyping the move, jump up, and shove that motherfucker in its mouth. Shit almost killed Sanraku. Got his ass on 1 HP. And now for the best scene in all of season. Yes.
I never get to use this move. The fight usually ends before it's finished. Thanks to Rokuro, I can finally use it.
Nigga, did she just ult cancel? Bravo, Rei. That was hard as fuck. What a display. We finally put that mutt down, right? No fucking way. No, what the fuck is that? Is it smiling with its eyes? Yo, I'm not gonna lie. If they went with a grittier art style, that would have been like creepy as hell. Yeah, so they didn't get the proper loot for beating a unique boss, and that's when Sanraku realizes that this Lycagon is a fake. Yes, the same Lycagon that boomed Sanraku in Season 1, the same Lycagon that the clan Swordswolves has been chasing for their entire career, dedicating their lives to, was simply an imitation. I'd be hot, man, because the clone's doing us that bad. What is the real deal gonna do? And they were pretty down for a minute, but Loki realized this is a video game. We had fun, and a kill is still a kill. After that, Sanraku's mark starts burning, and he thinks that this means it's finally gonna get off of him. But the flames summon a chibi Lycagon, and it eats this nigga. Just straight devoured his shit. Maybe it's just how he gets rid of the mark, right? Hell no. It spits him out, and it gives him a darker scar that can only be removed by taking out the true form, which means that method Saiger 100 was going to give him, yeah, that shit probably won't work. And low-key, I think that's a good thing. Side effects are pretty much the same, except now he can equip armor. Only problem is that the equipped armor will be destroyed after a set period of time. He tries pressing Lycagon to get it off of him, but the mud just smiles and fades away. Now that that's all out of the way, you know, the surprise Lycagon fight, they fight the area boss that they need to beat to get to the next city. And we don't really see the fight. It's explained through a title card cut and Emil carry. That's it. Whatever she did caused her to pass out, and I don't really know. That's all. They get to the city, and while Sanraku was trying to find a place to use his Rabbituza door, they run into this old geezer. Basically, he gives players who reach level 99 sub jobs that correspond with how they've played the game thus far. Saiger got the world, a buff to all stats, but also take more damage from enemy debuffs and magic attacks, while Sanraku gets drawn into this world and gets the full. The bonus is all recast times are halved. The downsides are that heals have a chance to straight up just not work, and debuff effects are doubled. The heals he can pop inside of Inventorium, meaning he'd be able to heal on his own time, and due to the curse mark, he just immune to curses, and that I'd assume means he's immune to a lot of debuffs. He also got extend for beating a level 100 boss, which was probably Leyon. So now he can boost his level cap. Thank God level 99 is not max. I was a little worried, not gonna lie. Ray starts thinking about all the things this dude has done in just 1 month of playing, and although this version of Ray fangirling in her head doesn't look crazy, when you're a 7-foot tall being clad in armor, you look a little crazy. We see Katsuo training and leveling up down in the cave him and Sanraku farmed XP in for Weathermon. Turns out this dude is planning to learn the SLF engine as it's being used in an upcoming game that he's a pro player in. And low-key, I feel like this is supposed to be a motivational moment, but it's just not. The nigga's talking about when a pro gamer like me gets going, there's no stopping me. Heh. Just a game, they say. Well, this game is my job. Maybe just because that's how English dub is delivered, but this was just funny. And not in like a joke way, but in like a, what the fuck is he talking about? We see the devs again, and this time they're pretty chill about a unique being beat. Because it was 1, fun for the player, and 2, it was only Leyon shade. So it being beat doesn't progress the world story very much. But one of them gets hot because the other went into the game and buffed Leyon's AI. So they start fighting. Katsuo's team for the GGC has pulled out, and his only option is to call up Sanraku and Pencil. He kind of dismisses it as his in-game calendar is already full, and he hops back on a game to go meet Russ in Greece. No. Mold. That's his name. Anyway, he finds them beating up some NPCs at the bar, and when Sanraku calls her short, she booms his shit. When she realizes it's him, she called the nigga a furry. Sanraku, go ahead and handle that, bro. Turns out they were beating up the staff as a way to draw out the NPC that gives you a quest to meet the great pirate stew. And that's when the hardest, toughest, roughest pirate, nah, he's a kid. Turns out Lil Bro just wants to avenge his pop, and to do that, he's got to destroy a phantom ship. But after being scared shitless by the Leyon mark, he gives them the unique quest to get to Katarnid of the Abyss. While all the men are loading up the ship, maybe they got grub for the journey, or weapons for the fight. Nah, they got Saiger Zero, as well as Akane and Sikru. Akane just accepted the quest cause fuck it, and Ray was gonna leave the party to help her sister with some prep for the upcoming DLC, but the pop-up perfect timed her shit, so she's here. Sanraku offers her an option to leave, and she's just like, nah, fuck what my sister got going on, I guess. What the hell? They set out to the sea, and everything's sweet sunshine and rainbows, until weather starts changing, and the crying Innsman appears. I bet the NPCs on the ship are crying, hoping it ends, man. I had to slip one in there, bro. The crewmates start tweaking, and Sanraku's trying to calm them down. But Stu's trying to host Sanraku and says the only one giving orders on this ship are him. But Sanraku's like, if you're gonna be an ass, then get out here from under the railing and command your men. Do you really think you're gonna avenge your dead daddy behind the rail? Damn! That was a little far, gang. Chill. And maybe he shouldn't have encouraged bro, because he gets behind the wheel and slams the ship into the crying Innsman. And then these ugly ass, grotesque, fucked up looking fish get on the ship. But it's no biggie because the players got that shit covered. They even hop onto the Innsman and handle them on their own turf when a bigger, uglier, grotesquer, fucked upper looking fish shows up. Sanraku throws him a left to mold and pops the upgraded marsh daggers. Low-key, they tough. Way more tough than the marsh blades. Of all of Sanraku's arsenal, which set of weapons would you cop? Low-key, I think I'd fuck with the twin moon blades, but his gauntlets are also pretty cool. And
Sorry I had to do it to you, bro, but I go to war for SLF. Okay, pick it up right in the Pirate of the Caribbean seas. Ammo dropping airstrike to Sanraku just runs through them, giving this guy all types of combos to the face. And for some reason, the captain of the ship comes out and tries to attack. And of course, this is an escort mission, so if they lose the kid, they get wiped out. Bro, don't even get me started on Resident Evil 4 trying to protect Ashley's dumb self to pull the levers, and she's moving in slow motion. The Saiger Zero ends up coming in and saving the day, which didn't last too long because the Octopus Colossi comes in and eats the entire ship, taking them to the bottom of the ocean, which leads Sanraku to the underworld city called the Captor Relias. I know I said that right, but we gonna keep it pushing. We gonna keep it pushing. So as he's exploring, he's just recklessly shouting out to find someone because they all got separated from the attack. He ends up attracting a massive horde of monsters, and then he ends up fighting a shark man, and he was about to end his lineage before the guy says he really wasn't an enemy. And after Sanraku gave him a healer potion, they both had to run again because, you know, the giant horde and whatnot. Oh, Sharksman's name is Araba also. Then they get pulled pulled up on by mermaids, which gives their enemies a debuff from their sinking, but this doesn't affect Sanraku, which he slices one of the mermaids next, and then Araba comes in and bites another one. Then he starts speaking crazy shark talk, which makes them leave immediately. I had them looking like the fish off SpongeBob trying to get her kids to safety. But the reason he bit the mermaid is because he lost his weapon in the city. By the way, has anyone ever seen a male mermaid? Like, I have never seen an animated male mermaid. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, never mind. Let's keep that vaulted. Anyways, Araba tells Sanraku that the seafloor is above them, and below them is the sea surface, and after that is the sky. Basically, a giant inverted city. So Sanraku decides to scream at max volume and ends up locking in on Emma. But this also alerted everything else in the radius. But they ended up running into whatever this giant thing is. Like, what even is this thing? He got them in prime track star running position, but apparently Emma had summoned this as a defense mechanism. That summons a higher level than the caster, which summoned a level 125 monster. But like, why is it only chasing them and not helping? And then Emma runs out of mana, but before she could get eaten, Russ comes to save the day and help out, along with Emma's big brother too. So they ended up splitting up while Sanraku fights this dragonfish or something, and he really just put straight belt onto this thing, hitting it with combos, outspeeding it, and eventually dealing with it with not too much trouble at all. And all that commotion led him and her to Sanraku. And then right in front of their eyes, all the buildings in Maxi fixed himself, and yes, we already know this is Katarnit's power. They are prepping up to go up against a literal admin. So after they all meet up, Sanraku tells them that they have 1 week to beat the scenario. Oh, and Saiga Zero had to log off and handle some of her own problems, and for the next 2 days, Sanraku has to help Katsu with his gaming competition. So with that, he logs off and back into the real world we go. GGC, the International Gaming Festival. Now this is the first time that Sanraku would be meeting up with Pentagon and Katsu in real life. Just in case you don't know their real life names, Katsu is K and Pentagon is Toa. Yes, the famous Toa. It actually took me a little while to realize that. Actually, it took me way too long to realize that. Don't bully me, guys. And look at this place Katsu booked them. It looks like a 5-star hotel. So Toa comes knocking on Sanraku's door, and he decides to keep his face hidden using a mask to cover it up. Bro thinks he's Marshmallow or something. Oh, and Katsu brought his other pro gaming friend that would be participating in the tournament, and her name is Megami. Megami, I haven't heard that name in ages. Don't say it, Pre, don't say it. I'm saying it.
Who is this character with all this potential? Could he be our savior? Potential man, potential man.
So Katsu explained to them that they would be going up against the top gaming team that America has to offer. The team name is Star Rain, and the top threat they have is this girl named Sylvia. Boy, with a name like that, you already know she would be a problem in a full tournament. Think of Prime Booga, Pengu, and me all in one. You won't win a single game, family. They will all be competing in a VR game called Galactic Heroes Chaos. This will be a little bit awkward if Kavion already covered this. And the reason that Katsu wanted the two was not only because of their talents, but also because the new game engine is running SLF engine. So they already have a pretty good feel for it. Megami sees how much faith Katsu has in them as a pro gamer himself and challenges Sanraku to a match to see just how good he is. Even Katsu hinting that if she's not careful, both of them could get the best of her. And into the game of heroes versus villains we go. Sanraku chooses the hero called Ranzo, and basically in this game, the more good you do as a hero, the more perks you are able to get, and vice versa with the villains. So once Sanraku helped these pedestrians, his hero gauge bar went up. Am I crazy, or was this in one of the Ultimate Alliance games? By the way, y'all gotta let everyone know which character you was rocking with. I was an Iron Man, Spider-Man type of guy, but Megami had already started complete chaos in the city, already almost having her bar full. So of course she's talking some slight trash to Sanraku, attacking first as he hits a clean dodge. Then even more violent attacks burst out as he weaves literally every single one of them. He closes the distance as she swings down, he uses blades to parry. So Sanraku's like, allow me to show you the speed I have. Flash stepping at her, but she smashes the ground and has to set up a trap for him. But Sanraku had a jumping ability just like in SLF to get out of the way. And honestly, if you pay attention, literally every single fight in season 2 was a setup for another fight. And Sanraku uses a special move, making her go on the defense, and was going to go for the final blow, but stopped. He saw that she was trying to set him up for a counterattack. Your little freaky green soul tried to play me, I see. So Sanraku starts chasing her now because she's all of her villain gauge too. She's throwing mopeds and street poles at this man before he closes the distance again. Feints the attack and grabs his other blade. She throws a car at him and he slices it to pieces. Sanraku was moving so goated that she felt like she was fighting Sylvia herself. Have I mentioned that Sanraku was my goat, man? So Kavion viewers, I'm sorry, but this is all I got. Hopefully nothing bad happens to me or anything like my steak getting blown up or anything, like, right guys? Like Kavion knows some people, but he don't know like Viltrumites or anything, right? Right guys?
Yeah, so I didn't really think that one through, and now we gotta record on Mars with it. But, hey, these Martians kind of bad. If y'all trying to get some up, I'll leave something for you. But yeah. Also, he spoke on Drake, so I think I had an underreaction if you ask me. Anyways, after getting her ass whooped, Meg tells Katsuo that Sanraku was low-key like that, and he plays just like Sylvia. And when he asks if she's played Pencil yet, she's like, nah, she wants to fight Sanraku. And she's got the nerve to talk about is Pencil really that good? And Katsuo's like, nah, not that she's good, but she's schemy and evil. She used those same evil, schemy tactics to beat Sanraku. So if she's not good, what the fuck is Meg doing on the team? Katsuo asks Sanraku to run it up with him, but he wants him to play as Meteus. And Sanraku's like, bet, let's do it. After saving some civilians, he finds Katsuo playing as Lava Arms. Trash ass name. But Lava Arms here is a brawler and can turn his surrounding debris into ranged attacks. Sanraku's character is simply a speedster who has to make a full stop to make turns. And he's loud as hell while doing it. On top of that, he don't really do crazy damage. His character is trash. When Sanraku tries to sneak him, the noise gives it away, and he takes damage for touching Lava Arms, because, you know, they're hot. He's trying to get in another kick, but that shit gets blocked too. This nigga is trash. He's garbage. Katsuo gets ready to fire that arm cannon, and the closer Sanraku gets, the more confused he is, because he's not letting that shit fly. Until he's about to hit Katsuo square in the rib and notices that this dude loaded up a shot in the other arm and ups that bitch, just for Sanraku to dodge and kick his ass from behind. Hold on, counter Katsuo. Oh my god. I didn't see that. I think he had it in him. He realizes that playing as Lava Arms won't get him the win on Sylvia, and low-key, I can tell this means something to Katsuo. Damn. But after their fight and Katsuo whining about being snuck, the team reviews some film. Honestly, don't know why he would try Lava Arms if he's already tried and it didn't work on Sylvia last time. But this dude Katsuo, I don't know what it is. He's just lame, bro. Before the match starts, Sylvia's saying good game. And what's his response? Some good old sportsmanship?
When I'm done wiping the floor with you, you're gonna totally eat those words.
Nigga, you're lame. Maybe there's some snarky undertones in Sylvia's voice I'm not catching, but it really just seems like it's a one-sided beef, especially because she whooped his ass mid-diff, and when she seen him on his knees from the loss, she tells him he has some pretty good moves and tries helping him up. What does Katsuo do? Just start shit talking. Yo, Katsuo, you ain't the best at SLF. That's Sanraku. You ain't the best here. That's Sylvia. I honest to God don't know what you're here for other than giving Sanraku a rival. And Pencil got better at that. And I mentioned all that to say you cannot be out here being a dickhead when you are ass. He's lost 8-0 against her. You're buns. What's with all this trash talking? Sanraku says after seeing that film, if Katsuo only draws against his Meteor, he ain't touching Sylvia. Sanraku's up late at night and drops by the convenience store for some energy drinks. And he straight up just runs into Sylvia, but assumes it's not her because that would be too cliche. And honestly, I love series that do this. Have a sense of humor around the cliche tropes, writing and plot points. SLF and Eminence and Shadow do it pretty good. Sylvia goes to the hotel and gets a call from her team saying she needs to come to the training, but she just says fuck you niggas and skips to play SLF. If I had to guess, this is going to be a line in season 3 where she's beaten and tells Katsuo now she might start training to retake her spot, and Katsuo will be all like, ha, it's going to take a lot more than training to beat me. If I snipe that, I will be gloating about how genius I am for the rest of my life. Sanraku hops in the gear seat thing and swears he's going to play for an hour, but you know how niggas get. As Sanraku was leaving their little hideout, Shark Boy tells him and he needs to be wary of the king that hunts warriors, and it don't take long for him to find out what that means. Another eel shows up in the bubble, but this time it's being attacked by, honestly, I don't know if it's a big shark or a big fish, but it is sick. This motherfucker's swimming around in water with blue flames and blue lightning. That's hard as hell. It slams the eel into the ground, and as Sanraku's running towards it, it uses an EMP type attack, killing the eel. He despawns, but now Sanraku's got to deal with Atlanticus. That's a hard ass name. Yo, this fish is hard, I'm not gonna lie. And even though he probably has no idea what he's saying, Sanraku still trash talks the king and almost gets his shit. Boom. He runs through the city trying to get to these towers holding area bosses. Even says this is a boring fight until the king starts upping Electro Blast on him. Yeah, I'm gonna just throw Electro and type move on his skills because I don't know what the fuck. Why not? Sanraku is still running and thinks he's good, so Atlanticus pops up out of nowhere and karate chops him. Dude, all those electric moves and he uses karate chop? But it's no biggie. Sanraku dodged that shit due to how highly responsive his chair is. He's spotted yet again and starts dashing yet again. But Atlanticus is done with chasing and starts charging that bitch up, giving us some clean ass animation and ups that bitch on Sanraku, lighting up the entire city. This shot right here, let me tell you, I couldn't contain myself after seeing this, man. Obviously, Sanraku TP'd into the inventorium and just healed up. Just the shockwave of the attack itself dealt so so much damage to him that he's low as shit. He's one tap. But as soon as he's back out, the king is on that ass, and right before he's eaten, Araba comes in and swoops his ass up. Sunraku realizes that the attack that he narrowly dodged hit the tower, and instead of taking damage or not taking damage, it reflected the attack away. So what's their plan? To use the tower and reflect the orca's attack back at it. Sunraku runs solo for a while as he can't use the inventorium due to the AI being so smart, like me. So he decides to use his shadow clones as bait, then enter travel outside of its point of view. This should trip the AI out and let Araba take aggro, and it works pretty well. Sunraku comes out the inventorium and climbs the tower, getting a little peek at one of the area bosses. He reaches the top on some Natsuki shit, and the orca, seeing Sunraku again, gets his ass heated. He charges that big ass bang, and Sunraku gets ready to use inventorium the moment that thing is sent. If he doesn't, he's cooked. No bullshit. But this is Sunraku. He's gonna get it done. Atlanticus charges and lets that bitch fly. The tower shoots it right back at him, and his ass is sprawled out. Sunraku comes back out and pops the Giltabril, booming that nigga over and over again, using his rage from Feria Online. Like, I mean, he's really going in with the rage from that game. This nigga might need therapy, but the orca is down, or so we thought, because this motherfucker fires up a last ditch explosion, basically Junkrat's passive. But it's cool because Sunraku and Araba dodge, officially beating the orca. Honestly, I'm hyped to see what kind of weapons he gets from this drop. It could be an armor though. I don't know, we'll see. They have a meeting in Sunraku's room and register Pencil and Rokurou as no name and no face. Toa, or Pencil, just doesn't want to be publicly known for being at this event, as it could bring attention to her when it's not about her. Then Rokurou, I don't know, Rokurou just being silly, I guess. Kei gets a call from his manager and he's got to dip out on tomorrow's match, as the entire team for a different game got food poisoning. So he's getting subbed in. Man, I would have said fuck your game. I'm going against the biggest and best player in the league. Figure something else out. But they don't let this get them down and decide they'll try and stall for Kei by making him the last player on the team. Even then, Kei is still mad pussy about it, saying it's impossible. But Rokurou and Toa just tell him to lock in, and he does. Later that night, he asks them why. Why are y'all doing this for me? Why are y'all going this far? And they tell him, man, we fuck with you. This is clearly something that means a lot to you, so we're gonna give it our all. And when this is all over, you are gonna take us out to eat. Rokurou, I understand. This dude is just a bum who plays video games all day. He probably got no bread. Toa, on the other hand, she's legit a world-class model. I know she's got bread. At the match, they see that they got screwed and Sylvia went third instead of last. Yeah, that's life, champ. Now everyone's got to play their role to a T. If they don't, they're fried. Straight up. Kei sets off for his other tournament, and the team gets on stage in these ridiculous outfits. Sunraku be putting on some bullshit, but this is some S-tier bullshit. The two teams face off, and I hate to do this, but the season ends. Yeah, right there. Right when we get what feels like in the middle of two different arcs, season 2 ends. But it's cool. We only got at least 200 days. Oh my god. Like always, hope y'all enjoyed season 2 of Best of Left. Tap into the Musketeers Discord. All of the socials, I'll have content up on there soon. Trust. Today's song is Moon and the Stars by Pretty Fun. And until next time, peace.